How is it going, boys and girls? Welcome back to Key West Waterman. My name is Aaron Young. This is not typically a video that I would make, but today we are going to be going over a new camera that I am extremely excited about. This is the DJI Osmo Action 4. If you guys have been watching for some time, I actually did a video comparison on some of the action cameras a while back. And surprisingly enough, and kind of flattering, DJI reached out to me and asked me if I would review this new camera that they have coming out, and I am happy to. If you guys have been watching the channel for any amount of time, you know that hopefully my videos have gotten better as time has progressed. I'm really starting to enjoy the filming process and the camera equipment and learning everything that comes with making videos and being a content creator. I do not by any means consider myself an expert, but I love learning. I love gathering information. So I was more than excited to be able to do a camera review and quite honestly get my hands on some new fancy equipment before anyone else did. I thought that was pretty cool. So what this video is going to be, I'm going to go over some of the specs that are most important to me in my day-to-day. You guys know that since the beginning I've been transparent with you. I told DJI my only stipulation is I will give an honest, hands-on review. That's just my style, and that's how I've always been, so that's what I'm going to do. So for the past week or so, I've really been kind of putting the camera through the paces, just doing what I do with it on a day-to-day basis, out in the water, diving, fishing, running the boat around. So I'm going to share what features are most important to me, and then we're going to cut to some clips of out in the water. I want to show some clips and actually talk about them and dissect them a little bit. This camera has done a great job underwater, especially at depths. Blown away. It's kind of a game changer for me. That's one of the biggest things that as divers we have trouble with, is capturing colors underwater and capturing them correctly. And I think this camera has kind of set the standard for that. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I show you. But a couple of features that have been a game changer for me on this camera. First and foremost, this is exciting. The camera is waterproof up to 18 meters or 59 feet. All of the rest of the action cameras in the past have been good to about 30 feet if I remember correctly. So this has almost doubled that depth. So you don't need a housing if you're diving under 59 feet. Which is huge because I can clip it right on top of my mask. And something else that DJI has that I love is these little quick connects. It's magnetic, so it sets on there and you just pop it right in. So if I can go from here and then just pop it on top of my mask, I don't have to deal with these little screws anymore, which that's been spectacular. So it's really changed the game for diving for me. And something else that has been huge and different than the rest of the cameras is the battery life on this, depending on what you're shooting in, is up to 160 minutes. If you're a diver and you spend any time in the water and filming, you know that it's not fun to try and open this battery hatch with wet hands. You got to dry your hands off. You're worried about dropping salt in there. For the most part, unless I'm doing an insane amount of filming on any particular day, I can get a whole day on one battery, as long as I'm turning it on and off each dive. So that has been a game changer for me as well. So we're going to break this off. We're going to go to some clips. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go a little more in depth. I'll talk about a lot more of the specs. This camera does have a new sensor that's very exciting, and I think it's what's been helping with all of the color upgrades when it comes to diving and really capturing what's going on down there. So we're going to go underwater, and I'll see you there, and I'll see you back here shortly. So let's dive in. So I'm going to go over some of the other specs. They may not necessarily apply to me. Like I said, I consider myself an amateur when it comes to this kind of stuff. For the most part, I shoot in auto. I do tinker with the white balance here a little bit, depending on the visibility. A lot of the stuff that I do is diving and fishing and outdoor stuff. So one of the biggest upgrades on this camera is the sensor. It does have a 1/1.3 inch sensor, and that supports up to 4K 120, which is huge. I normally shoot in 4K 30, but I do like shooting in that 4K 120 every now and again because especially spearfishing and fishing, the slow motion shots, whether it's a fish jumping or taking a shot on a fish, can be really cool. You'll see on this clip, I'm looking for a big grouper, and I'm going to slow it down. This is shot in 4K 120, and you can see this is very low light. I'm in a cave. You can see how well this camera picks up color and just its surroundings. There's a big old grouper in here, and I take a shot on it. But just an awesome shot. And again, I'm in the dark. There's the light. Look, you can see in the slow motion the smoke or the dust come pouring out. And on the way up on this clip, I'm going to speed it up for a second, then slow it back down. I want you to pay attention to the colors. And again, this is auto. I have not done any color grading. I haven't done any back end work. Look at the blues and the yellows in that fish, all the reds and the greens and the purples on top of the reef. Just unbelievable color. This is shot auto. I'm going to say it again. I'm just mind blown at how aesthetically pleasing this is and how great it looks. It's really hard to capture these underwater scenes and make it look like what I see. And that's what I want my subscribers to see, is what I'm seeing. So just absolutely thrilled with that. Another spec on this camera, it does have the 10-bit color. That's nothing new, but it does have a new color profile. They refer to it as D-Log-M. Again, I am not super tech savvy when it comes to this stuff. Apparently, if you are one of those guys or girls that does a lot of back-end work and color grading, that is a game changer for you. But being someone that normally shoots auto, I probably won't see a whole lot of that. So here's another shot, just a little bit of different reef. Just wanted to show how much of the reds and the colors of the reef it picks up. You can see the greens and the little soft sponges and the yellows of the fish and all of the just the different corals and stuff. It really is amazing at how much color this camera picks up. And here's a snapper. This is called a mangrove snapper. On the surface, these fish are really red. Down low, they lose their color. You can see a little bit of the red, but not too much. It's not oversaturated or anything. Again, I just think it does a fantastic job capturing the colors as they really look. And something else that doesn't really apply to me, this camera is rated for up to -4 degrees Fahrenheit, but down here we don't have to worry about that, obviously. But it is rated up to 113 degrees Fahrenheit as well. I know overheating has been a big issue for a lot of people when it comes to action cameras. I've been filming with this thing in the hot Florida sun for the past week. It has been one of the hottest summers we have seen in a long, long time, and I have had zero issues with overheating or the camera shutting off. And here's some cool shots of some shallow water. You can see all the greens of the grass and the teals and the sponges, and just really cool. The fish look like what they actually look like in real life. And we are going to jump to some video stabilization. I know we take this for granted nowadays because it's standard on most cameras, but this is without the RockSteady on. RockSteady is DJI's camera stabilization. Almost makes me nauseous watching that. This is with RockSteady turned on. Just makes the shot a lot more smoother and a lot more watchable. Really is wild, the technology there. And this is the RockSteady Plus. It crops the frame just a little more, but I'm running through a half a foot to 1 foot chop, bouncing like crazy, and nothing happens. So this is a really cool feature called HorizonSteady, and what it does essentially is keeps your horizon locked and balanced in your frame. You can see on the left, I'm tilting my camera left to right, and on the right is what the camera is filming. The horizon is staying level, and it really comes into play if you're on a boat or you're out in the woods running around, your head's tilting in a boat, you're rocking. It keeps that horizon level and keeps that shot balanced. It is really handy when I'm out here on the water doing this stuff. I really, really like this feature. And I wanted to tinker just a little more with the 4K 120. Love me some slow motion. So I set the camera up and did some drive-bys. That's full speed. I just want you to see how fast I'm actually going. I'm doing about 35 coming by this camera, and I'm going to slow it down. This is 4K 120. Me and Tipsy just having a ball out there. So crisp, so clean. Just really, really thrilled with how this camera has performed. Tipsy's having a good old time there. And there we are. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of that or learned something that you were hoping to learn or what you're looking for by clicking on this video. If you are interested in getting the new Osmo Action 4, I will put a link in the description, and I will put one in the pinned comment as well. I have been nothing short of thrilled with it, and like I said, I'm always honest with you guys. I still want to get a little more hands-on. I've been shooting, like I said, I've been shooting everything in auto. I do want to get a little in-depth and do some of the manual shooting. I feel pretty confident as of right now that this is probably going to be my new underwater camera, but I do want to get my hands on it for a little longer and just kind of learn it. Like I said, I've only had it for about a week, so. But again, if you're interested in getting one, info is in the description and in a pinned comment. And any questions, please feel free, leave one. And other than that, I appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later.